Completing Fins and Things was just one part of our Moab adventure. We wanted to see the sites that Moab was famous for. We tried Arches National Park first. Did you find the missing 411 people?
Yeah, they're all on here.
Oh man, that's wild.
They said they weren't missing, they're on vacation.
Fast approaching darkness corrected our course to downtown Moab, where we thought there'd be plenty to do around 6 o'clock in the evening.
This one's closed?
Closed. We're stuck. That's the thing about nice towns, they close early. Most of the stores in Moab tend to be local, and they were all closed by 6 o'clock. We didn't have much left to do. We headed back to our hotel, but not before we would annoy Monty on the CB radio. I started with the old trick of hitting the transmit button repeatedly.
Did that scare you at all? Hey Franco, remember earlier when you rode your clutch and it smelled like burning beef?
Yeah, no, that was my fault.
Remember that one time when we were driving yesterday, you were swerving because you were posting on Instagram, you were updating your Tinder?
Yeah, because I don't have a Tinder.
Have you ever thought about, do you enjoy like riding with a good pin?
No, I work in a paperless building.
Yeah, but let's say you had to use a pin. Would you want to use a nice one or a crappy one?
I can type faster than I can write.
What would you want to use?
My fingers to type.
That's not an option.
I would use a feather and quill. The next morning we decided to try out Arches National Park again. No longer limited by night, but with the ever-present threat of rain, we still trekked on out to the Delicate Arch to try the trail. Initially classified as a national monument in 1929, Arches wouldn't become a national park until Richard Nixon signed it into law in 1971. The fragile red sandstone that makes up the majority of the park allows these arches to form. There's the Delicate Arch, there's things like Balanced Rock, the courthouse towers. These are all within Arches, and it really is something to go see. If you are in the area or you like national parks, you have 30 bucks, I highly recommend you see this. It's a lot different from any other national park that you might be used to. There might not be a lot of trees, but there is a lot of rock, and it is absolutely gorgeous. We filled up on the spring water that the park graciously provides and headed back towards Delicate Arch so we could conquer the 1.5 mile hike. We've all got some kind of Jeep apparel.
Yeah. You got the Jeeping is my life.
Jeeping is my life.
Swag. I got like a tannish orange color, and then Steven got like a gray.
Yeah, I got a gray one. You can see it right there. Kind of, sorta. Same thing, so I don't need to show it.
Swag.
And then you got Jeep Nation. I am Jeep.
I am Jake, dog.
I am Jake. What is that, YouTuber?
YouTuber. He lives out of his Jeep.
Well, he should subscribe to me.
He won't subscribe to you. This is my emergency rain. This is my emergency jacket I keep in my Jeep because I can roll it up.
Dude, you could deflect radar with that thing. You won't get picked up by the new stealth fighter. The hike to the Delicate Arch itself is relatively short, but there is an elevation gain. If you're not used to hiking up surfaces like this, you will get tired. Avid hikers though, you will have an easy time getting to the arch, and it's quite beautiful the whole way up. The higher you go, the better it gets.
Arches National Park. Get some bangers, dog.
The high point of the hike, both literally and metaphorically, is this narrow path that meanders along a little bit of a canyon just before the arch itself. The arch sits at the end of what can only be described as a natural amphitheater, and it's a great reward for finishing the hike. So we finally made it to the arch. It got so windy to the point where I had to hold down my hat, as you can see in this shot right. But I didn't have my hat on my head, so I was just kind of holding on for dear life. Right now we're trying to get off the mountain because it's gonna start raining. But Franco is in pursuit of the Instagram banger, even to the point of death. So he's elected to stay on the windy cliffside.
Yeah, Franco's about as trendy as a teenage girl.
Franco! Chad! Wow. That's wild. Good old Chad.
Franco's willing to sacrifice his well-being for the gram. It's all,
come on.
as he said before, it's about the creative process.
That was a good hike.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. Like, it sucked that the arch fell down. You know, can't believe they're...
Little did Monty know the joke was on him. The water we had gotten from the spring was high in sulfur content, and Monty happened to be allergic to sulfur. This resulted in Monty being down for the count for the rest of the night in our smaller than expected Airbnb. I'm about to get genuine reactions. This is our Airbnb that we paid. It's pretty small, so watch when they come through that door because they're gonna freak out.
What is it, man? Throw up again, dang it. Dude, this is dope. It's straight up dope, dude.
Dude, I'm sick again.
You're sick again?
Yeah.
Oh, dude. What's up, dog?
I just found out there's a crap load of sulfur in the water here, and I'm allergic to sulfur.
Rip him.
Dang.
Mexicans. No allergic. Oh, wait, no allergy.
The next morning came, and with it, our return journey back to California. The journey would take place over 2 days, though, with a stop in Zion on the way home. So our 3-night stay in Moab is coming to an end. It's one of the most beautiful towns in all of Utah, and probably the United States. We really enjoyed it here. I can't say enough praises about it. Right now, we're just airing up, getting the tires aired up, enjoying the cheap gas, because California is awful, and I don't even know why I continue to live there. But we are going to make the 6-hour trek. It would be 5, but remember, we're driving 4-cylinder Jeeps, so we have to add on an hour. We're gonna make the 6-hour trek over to Zion National Park. So we're gonna strap in, buckle down, and we're gonna hit the road. Now I don't know if this is a testament to
You guys can leave this time.
to Utah in general, but I've noticed a lot of people are getting out, especially of very expensive Jeeps, and they leave them running as they go into the gas station. That's something you don't see a whole lot in California or a lot of places, so it just kind of goes to show this place is safe. It's a nice place. The drive back to California along the I-70 is lonely, long, and desolate with rapid altitude changes throughout. We would drive half an hour without seeing a single soul. We did eventually stop for food and gas, and after a couple more hours, we made it into Zion. It was here in Zion that I realized that I hadn't made it completely casualty-free. Apparently, $300 microphones don't like being dropped from a distance of 2 feet. Now we've gone back to the classic Rode Video Micro. It's never let me down, courtesy of Monty. He brought his, I forgot mine. But come on, Rode, really? Really? Just... You survived being dropped 6 feet in the Sequoia National Park for that video. Come on. It's weak sauce. My expensive microphone wouldn't be the only casualty that night. As we tried to get our camping spot and figure out where we wanted to hike, we started to figure out that there weren't a lot of super easy, quick, and fast trails in Zion that didn't require a couple hours, much to our dismay. So we got a problem. We made it, and since we're the very intelligent and pragmatic people that we are,
That's the
we
6-hour hike instead of 12.
we
Bro, it's
didn't
not 6
anticipate how long it would have taken to get to some of the stuff here.
Hiking experts.
The Narrows is like a 6-hour hike, and it's the end of it's almost evening time. I don't even know, dude. It was $35 to get in here. Everything is. I'm a boomer, and it's hard for me to walk. So.
Well, I guess we're gonna be going to the pasta place. Just eating pasta. They make it a campfire. Hey, at least we can have fires here.
Yeah, that's nice. So we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do, but we're here in beautiful Zion. It is gorgeous. I'm gonna say this is like Chad Yosemite.
Yeah, Yosemite freaking sucks. Yosemite's the Disneyland.
Yosemite's for little foo-foo babies.
Yosemite,
I didn't pay $35 to see a mountain.
we can go to the Zion
Let's
observation
go
site.
hike, dog. Come on. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Swaglord 2000 here with a life update.
His radio's not even tuned. Don't listen to him. We want to hike, but not for 12 hours. You see, the hiking Franco's ever done is at the Valley Plaza Mall or Windmills Nature Reserve, or Yosemite with all the other
Bro,
trendy...
I went to literally North Cascade. Let's go, dog. Let's
I
go.
don't think we're going to be able to do anything. Like, I'm dead serious. I'm like...
What have we done? What have we done?
I'm never even... Yeah, you guys made the Narrow sound like it was just like...
I thought it was just
going to
be this...
pull you walk up to, like, off the road.
No, you got to hike up to.
I mean, I assume it was going to be a hike like the Arch.
Experiencing hiking recommended.
Shut up, Google. That's not experience hiking. We literally just have to hike, and that's it. Walk up a mountain.
Franco says Franco has been to the Narrows almost once. He knows the facts. We're going to go to the Zion Pasta Company and carb up and rent a movie.
Oh, we should have just gotten a hotel for this price.
That's true.
Because we paid $35 to get in.
Dude, we gotta
$20
let's
a
go do
car.
something before sunset.
Do something. There's like, I don't know what you can even do.
Determined to still have a good time, we still set up camp in the hopes that the $100 we spent to sleep on the floor would be well spent. We took Monty up on the offer to go back into town and ate some food at a nice little restaurant, and we headed back to camp.
We have to pick one location to go, either Zion, Arches, or Moab, and spend 3 days there. So we could do a lot of things. We did all three in 3 days.
Did you guys see any firewood?
Yeah, they have firewood outside. So Zion is really beautiful, but we made a really rookie mistake. So let me tell you about the plight of the three amigos. So we came in thinking that Zion was similar to Yosemite, because Yosemite is very touristy. It's very Disneyland-y. You just come in and there's a trail right away. You don't have to do anything. Well, it turns out for Zion, a lot of the trails you have to you have to spend hours on. And we wanted to go to the Narrows. And it turns out the water's up to your legs. And it gets up to your waist. We are not prepared for that. So we spent $35 each. So each Jeep was $35 to get into the park. On top of that, it was $20 a Jeep for the campsite. So between us, it's about and there's no outlets, anything like that. It's about $110. We looked up the hotel prices online, and it turns out we could have dealt with none of that for $89. So we're gonna get to look at the scenery, maybe sit around the fire, tell some old tales, some jokes. We're gonna wake up in the morning very tired, very cranky, very in pain, and we're just gonna go home because we are not prepared to spend eight hours waiting up a stream to drive 8 hours home to go to. Then I have to go to work the next day, so it's just not gonna work. So we live and we learn. We've all committed that we are going to come back more prepared to Zion, but it is definitely a very interesting end to our Utah adventure, our Utah excursion. So stay tuned. We will do a more in-depth video with Zion later when I have the chance to come back. But we're going to enjoy spending our $110 to sleep on the ground. It was fantastic. So now you see my hat hair. That's how it looks.
Sorry, sir. Just take the sticker off your hat.
I'm telling the audience how we spent $110 to sleep on the dirt.
Yeah, I know. We're a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. This is a great way to end our journey.
They don't give you refunds in national parks.
Yeah, so.
This is God's earth. He owns it.
Spurred to action by a chilly morning, we quickly gathered our belongings and we hit the road to make the final 6-hour leg of the journey back home. We made a few interesting stops along the way, one of which was way too interesting not to include in this video. So the last place on our journey, we are heading out to Alien Fresh Jerky. This place has been kind of a roadside attraction for a while, although I would assume that this building they have is fairly new. But the place is getting so popular, they're building a food court, kind of a restaurant thing. They're building their corporate headquarters and a hotel. I think they're really banking on this being a very large attraction. I can't really put my finger on it. On the inside, there's kind of the average alien souvenir fanfare, gifts, things like that. But it's really it invokes a lot of the Area 51 feelings that I had from being back there a couple months back. So pretty interesting place. I definitely recommend you stop and check it out on your way to Vegas. At least once. There's all kinds of cool stuff in there. Don't miss it. Every single one of my videos, we're going to have an Area 51 reference. Every one. Just like Skinwalkers. It never stops.
Area 51, like, authorized vehicle only.
You won't get that.
Permanent extraterrestrial authorized vehicle. Do not remove. So you're down to get it?
No, look, I want that.
Oh, shoot. Not
I
for
wish.
sale.
This place is based. They have a head of my favorite movie. Hey, check it out. We found him. Alien Trump.
Alien Trump, right?
Wow. You gonna get any of these stickers?
I'm not kidding.
Why?
I'll get one when I actually go to Area 51 one day.
I highly recommend you check it out at least once on your way to Vegas. It's definitely quaint. It's out there. It's a part of the weird desert of this area. This is kind of weird stuff I think that we should support, so that way people keep coming back to, there's more weird stuff like this pops up, and it makes the world a little bit brighter, a little bit, gives it variety. So I think it's a good thing. So definitely come see it. Moab and the surrounding regions of Utah are an absolute must-go for anybody that claims to be an avid off-roader, or even an avid outdoors person, or somebody that enjoys the outdoors. The views are spectacular, and the landscape is unique. It's definitely something that everyone should go see if you get the chance. And there's lots of great stuff along the way too. It might not be as weird as some of the other places that we've been to in the past, but it's definitely an adventure, and that's what Go With Grimes is all about. If you want to see more adventures to strange places or anything else that's out there in the United States, don't forget to drop the like and the subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.